Ranga Pura Vihara Jaya Puranda Ramavadara. Harikatha is a blend of everything. It has music, narration, philosophy, history. Until and unless we start reading the Sahitya and really noting what the composer wants to tell us, we would generally see it as an art music. It's just passion, absolute passion. For every artist, it is that kind of a spirit which keeps a person going. It is not a profession at all. It has always been my breath. Everything. Very, very careful about what you're meant for. For the 2 hours of pravachana, 22 hours of rest of the day will be for the 2 hours of pravachana. What is one solution to address that mental health? Surrender. Ultimately, what is our purpose, Vilas? Everybody wants to be happy finally. And that happiness must not be temporary. Peace. Shantamu Saukyamu ledu Sarasadala Nayana.
Hi, welcome to the VWP. Today, I'm blessed to be in this holy city of Srirangam, and I have this incredible opportunity to be in conversation with one of my dearest friends. Vishakha and I go back such a long way, and our bond has been so special, and I'm so happy that we've got this opportunity to meet and converse under this setting. Vishakha is an achiever in every sphere. A ranker chartered accountant, a musician, a Harikatha exponent, a teacher, a wonderful mother, and a person who excels in all aspects of life. She remains as an inspiration for each one of us in our generation, and we all look up to her in absolute awe. In this conversation, we try to see what brought her into the Harikatha world, what is the value systems that drive her, what are her learnings from her gurus, her teachers, and what is it that she carries forward as a legacy through her Vijay Shri Academy. I'm so grateful to have had this conversation with her today, and I'm hoping all of you will enjoy it as much as I did. Thank you so much. So happy, Vishakha. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this for the VWP.
My pleasure.
First, humble pranams and thank you once again. So, I think, shall we start with a song or, a description
Definitely.
of your Harikatha?
Since this is Tirvanekaval, we will start with Akhilandeshwari.
Oh, my favorite.
Shankari Shankuru Chandramukhi Akhilandeshwari Shankari Shankuru Chandramukhi Akhilandeshwari Shri Akhilandeshwari Shri Akhilandeshwari Shri Akhilandeshwari Shambhavi Sarasija Bhavavandite Gauri Shankari Shankuru Chandramukhi.
Thank you, Vishakha. Listening to your voice in person after a very long time. If today somebody is coming in for a Harikatha, what is the mind frame with which they should come to listen to a Harikatha?
Generally, Vilasini, there are people of different tastes, ruchis. Harikatha is a blend of everything. It has music, it has narration, it has philosophy, it has history. So generally, any person who does not know anything about music or about history, you just come and sit. You will have some takeaway from the Harikatha. That is the beauty of the art form. So some people come to Harikathas for music. Some people come for the story part. Some people just want to listen to the philosophy behind it. Some people come for history, historical backgrounds. So, and some people for the literature aspect, like Tamil paadalo, illa Telugu, Kannada. See, you have different angles that you can really appreciate in a Harikatha. So you need not have a preconceived mindset. You can enjoy everything together also.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yes. So, you have been on this journey of Harikatha for the last 20-25 years. I think you started as a singer, and then once you got married, you transitioned into Harikatha. My question here is, when did it stop feeling like a profession or a training or something that you were performing? And when did it start becoming life?
It has never been a profession, to be very frank with you. I've never felt this is a profession or this is something that I have to do or a duty. It's just passion, absolute passion. And only for every artist, it is that kind of a spirit which keeps a person going. If you see it as a profession, it becomes stress. It is not a profession at all. It has always been my breath. It has always been my everything. My everything. My moochu kaathu. So adu enikume I have never thought of taking it up has never been in the picture at all. It has chosen. It's very organic. It consumes you.
I can understand. So you started as a musician, yeah, and then this kind of organically grew. It chose you. Can you describe that journey a bit?
That is absolutely because of my gurus. So myself and my brother Vidwan Saket Raman, both of us learnt under Lalgudi Jayaraman sir. So he's an absolute musical genius. My brother. So though we never proclaimed him as prodigies or like what generally people do today. So we just started with concerts. And after my marriage, it was my guru, Sri Krishna Premi Swamigal Sri Sri Anna, who asked me to also explain the meaning of the songs so that it makes more sense and creates more awareness for us as well as the audience. Because the compositions are in different languages, Telugu, Kannada, Marathi. Makes more sense to tell what the composer is wanting the others to know.
Correct. So, and the whole process when you started breaking down the songs or understanding it deeper, correct? How is that phase of transition where you moved from being a performer to...
Correct. That is the time when we really look into the importance of the language itself. So till that, music is just art music for us. The Bhakti element comes into the scenario only when you look into the meaning of the songs. So that is today's hottest topic, whether music is art music or Bhakti music.
Correct.
So until and unless we start reading the Sahitya and really noting what the composer wants to tell us, we would generally see it as an art music. Ipo or Brindavana Sarangana, what is the Arohanam Avarohanam, what should not come? That is what we generally look into. But when we need to do a Harikatha, you have to look into the Yati Prasas and what Dikshidhar wants to say. Ranga Pura Vihara. Till that point of time, I was thinking it was about Sri Ranganatha Swami. Pallikonda Perumal. But after we go into the Sahitya, you understand that it is about Kodandarama. Jaya Kodanda Ramavatara Raghuvira Shri Ranga. So it is about the Kodandarama Swami who is residing in Ranga, Sri Ranga. Chandrapushkarani Tirthatla. And the entire song, if you look into the Charanam, it is about Rama's Pankajaptakula, Surya Kulatla Poranda, Patabhiramana Irikara. So until and unless you go into the breakup of the Sahitya, it is just the raga and the feel for the raga. It's just Vrindavana Saranga for you. When you go into the Sahitya, it's more than Vrindavana Saranga. It's about the deity, it's about the place, it's about Sri Rangam, it's about the Chandrapushkarani, it's about everything. It's a different eye-opening.
Puriyarthu. In fact, I can just let you sing and I can do this entire interview like this. But today what you are carrying, Vishakha, is you are a torchbearer of lineage. You carry a lineage in which you have very beautifully created your own identity or voice. Bhagwan has created that, but still, I mean, there has also been that element of human effort. So today, if somebody is in a second generation, third generation scenario to carry forward a lineage, how do you balance tradition and how do you balance individual identity?
That's a very beautiful question, Vilasini. I chose the same analytical mind that you had 30 years. To tell the audience, she's my classmate. Since my college mate, we never said that. So, she's my college mate. And we did CA together. And that is the bonding that we share since 25 years back.
Yes.
So, to get back to the point, how do you carry on the tradition as well as bring in your own identity?
Yes.
See, that's what I was telling in the previous podcast. Art is like a flowing river. That is what Lalgudi sir keeps saying. It's Kaveri, Narmada, Godavari. It's like a flowing river. It keeps flowing, but it is fresh water. So it is not that Kaveri is not flowing. It is flowing, but it is fresh water. So the tradition and the legacy and the lineage will naturally continue, and we have to consciously take efforts to continue it in the same intention of that particular founder. For example, my guru, Sri Sri Anna, his vision is to unite the entire world, irrespective of the sampradayas, Advaita, Visishta Advaita, Advaita, the Shuddha Advaita, Achintya Beda Beda, Nimbarka Sampradaya, Hita Harivamsha Sampradaya. Irrespective of all the sampradayas, there is one common thread, which is devotion.
Beautiful.
And that is why it is called Premika Sampradaya. Prema, love is what is common in all the sampradayas. Love towards God, love towards fellow human beings, love towards all beasts and beings and insects and everything. All the crows, the peacocks, the coconut trees, everything. So if you see the stories of all the saints that he has given, Vaishnava Samhita, so many hundreds and hundreds of saints, the stories will be different, but the message is the same. It is pure, unconditional love for every person in the whole world, for every being. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. So, this is the tradition that I have to continue. This is the lineage that I have to, this is the message that I have to pass through. Now, for my identity, I generally don't consciously build my own identity, but to think of it when you ask, I keep addressing the social issues that today we face. Because as the founder of Vijay Shri School of Harikatha, I know what children are facing and how these problems can be solved using this Premika Sampradaya spiritual path. So that is where the tradition continues and your identity also comes. Evolves. So it depends on each and every circumstance. So, if Gen Z, they will have a different set of problems to address, and they should look out for answers from these beautiful stories.
So you keep this as a center point and focus, and you see how it becomes relevant in today's day and age.
Exactly. That is why we need, what does religion really, why do we need religion? Why do we need religion? To answer our problems and to give solutions for our challenges. So it is a way of life, right?
Correct.
Religion is not just rituals.
Correct.
It is a way of life.
Correct.
It has to give us answers for what we are facing. See, for example, yesterday I met a lady who had lost everybody in her family. And she said, is there a God at all? I have lost faith in God because he snatched away everybody. Her husband, her son, her grandson, like Karmabai's story. She lost everybody and she lost faith. She says, why should I even believe in God? Because he has snatched everything from me. And I told her, this is why we need to believe more in God, because we don't have control over anybody's life. We don't have control over anything. Do scientists have control over their lives? Birth or death? Of course, you can say there are so many centers, fertility centers, and the doctors can... Only if it has to be born, it will be born.
Absolutely.
Birth and death are two beautiful stages where you can directly feel the influence of God, the power of the supreme power. You give him any name in any faith, but there is some supreme power controlling us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
actually, in today's day and age, right? So when we are talking about relevance from today's perspective, there are some words like gratitude, surrender, staying in the present, etc., that are quite accepted by the younger generation as themes that, this is the way I should live. How does this compare to what is learned from mythology or music or other forms in our traditional sampradaya?
These values are the values that all our rishis, Valmiki or Vyasa, or the great Mahavagekaras like Tyagaraja Swami or Purandaradasar, they've always wanted to impart this feeling of gratitude, surrender. That is why Tyagaraja Swami sings, Tavada Sogam, Tavada Sogam, Tavada Sogam. Dasharate Tavadas Sogam Tavadas. Why does he say that again and again and again? Tavadas Sogam, Tavadas Sogam. Because I just surrender. When I feel blank, when I feel low, when I feel depressed, when I feel I have multiple issues to address, what do? Just surrender. The cosmos will take care. And the cosmos ku da na God in pair vekkren. The atheists might keep it as a natural force or whatever it is. That feeling of surrender, if it's not there, you will start feeling insecure. Adada Sharanagati ingara concept. This Sharanagati concept is what in Bhagavad Gita, I don't agree about mythology. I believe all of it is history. So,
very
Mithya is false. Mithya is false. That is Jagat. Not our Ramayana and Mahabharata. Absolutely. That is more real than we are talking in reality. This is also unreal. That is more real. This might be mythology. Not that. So, in Bhagavad Gita, when he says, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, why does he say that? Just don't bother about anything. Don't feel insecure. All over the world, people are feeling insecure about so many things. Not only about jobs. Today, youngsters are feeling so insecure in marriages, in relationships, because trust is a huge question mark. So, huge question mark. So, if my wife leaves me and goes away, what will happen to me? That question keeps on creeping. And what if my husband leaves me? Everywhere. Even for children. How do I get closer to my parents? My parents are not giving me time. For parents, the children are not respecting me or not listening to us. There is a huge gap in all relations. Now, if you start thinking about all this, you end up overthinking. And that is why we have this mental stress.
Yes.
Everywhere in this world right now, the greatest problem is mental issues.
Absolutely.
Mental health is the biggest problem, not only in India, and not only US, not only Australia, everywhere. And what is one solution to address that mental health? Surrender. Sharanagati. Leave it to him. He will take care. This feeling of let go, no? Just let go of all your burden. Everything will fall in place if you just surrender at the feet of your guru or surrender at the feet of your Ishta Devata, your favorite deity. Then you just feel so peaceful, so blissful, and that immense calmness immediately settles in you. This concept of Sharanagati is so powerful. People don't understand the value of it until and unless you really experience it.
Yeah, from the
Just let go and place it at the feet of your guru. Whatever problems. Sharanagati. I just offer my problems also at your feet. I offer all my happiness also at your feet. Ma kelara vicharamu.
2 lines.
Ma kelara vicharamu. Ma kelara vicharamu. Ma kelara vicharamu. Maruganna Shri Ramachandra Ma kelara vicharamu.
I think as old friends, we're allowed to do one odd emotional
Always,
moment. So
it's not old friends. Friendship is never old. It's always evergreen and eternal.
I agree. I agree to that. I think it's so blessed. Talking of blessings, Vishakha, I think at many points of time you've attributed so much to your 3 gurus. And in our sampradaya, there is so much emphasis on the guru as a person who shows the path. I would like to hear on one path, what it is to have a guru. On the other part is, what are your life learnings from your 3 gurus and your precious parents, whom I greatly revere.
Yes. I remember Amma and Appa loved you so much.
I know.
When we were doing first year college.
How you grew up, you and Saket grew up. Literally now when I think back, such goosebumps. I think you were meant for paths that were laid out for you, and that was just a pre-preparation stage in those years.
God has a beautiful journey for each soul, Vilasini. So, coming back to this beautiful question, what if you have a guru and what if you don't have a guru?
Yeah.
If you have a guru, you feel protected. You feel so happy. As I just told you, surrender everything at his feet. He will take care. Just like an infant, just 3-year-old or 4-year-old, it never bothers about what if I feel hungry, who will feed me. It clearly knows its mother. Even before the infant, the child can feel hungry, the mother will say, please come. By this time, you will be feeling hungry. Another 10 more minutes, you will not be able to sustain. So, that is the kind of feeling when you have a guru. The guru will take care of everything even before you face the problem. Before I feel hungry, my mother feeds me. So, before I have a problem, my guru protects me. This is the feeling if you have a good Sadguru leka yatuvanti guniki teliyakapodu. You might have all dharmic virtues. Still Tyagaraja Swami says, guniki teliyakapodu guru leka yatuvanti. Why do you think there are so many songs on the importance of having a guru? Because he molds you. See, there are stones everywhere. But only a sculptor can make a beautiful sculpture out of that hard rock.
Yes.
And that guru is the sculptor. There are huge white canvases everywhere. Only a good painter can bring out a beautiful painting. A good painter.
Absolutely.
Good painter. Sadguru leka yatuvanti. So a good painter can bring out life in that painting. Likewise, guru is that painter, is that sculptor who makes that white canvas into a beautiful painting, or who makes that slab of rock into a beautiful sculpture. We are all rocks. We are all white papers, plain papers. And if somebody just comes and scribbles on this is a beautiful life, no? Manavatanu durlabha manuju ninji paramananda mundaleka. It's meant for Paramananda, not for Mada Matsara Kamaloba Mohula Kudasudai Mosapodikaka. So what do? That is why Yendaro Mahanubahulu Andareke Vandanamu. That is why we need Mahanubhavas. Otherwise, anybody will come and scribble on it. And we are not meant to be just wasted like that. Manushya Janma. Durlabo Manusho Janma. Adruvam Artadam. It has to be Artadam. It has to be purposeful. If you don't have a guru, there are so many people who don't have gurus. Their lives are just, they just earn, go to malls, shop. We also dress beautifully. We also eat beautifully. But our lives have a purpose. Likewise, everybody's life has a purpose. And to understand or realize the purpose, you need a guru.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. And to address your next question, one takeaway from each of my gurus and my parents, life learnings. Life learnings, I told you, my guru Shri Krishna Premi Swamigal Shri Anna, life learning is love. He loved everybody. I would always say loves, present tense. He is with me. He is with us. So he loves everybody irrespective of whether he is qualified or not qualified or committed a grave mistake. He definitely know that he had backstabbed him also. But still, no
resentment,
no resentment, no hatred, not even an iota of a kind of a hesitation, nothing. Unconditional love is my take. That is impossible.
Sounds very difficult, yeah.
But at least I've seen, I have lived with him. So
but I experienced that with you. I know that Vishakha.
That is too big a word, Vilas. But that unconditional love is my first takeaway from Anna. Lalgudi sir, perfection. Perfection. Perfection is something he kept seeking throughout his life. Fine-tuning, finer, refinement, aesthetics. Aesthetics in everything. Ipo idella paatarna avaru udamatar. Like, this is so beautiful, and he would show every look at the coconut trees, look at the groves, and look at the elanir, look at that coconut which is in the different colors. The different colors. So each of it, that rasika chintana. What he appreciates right from the food, right from the way we dress. I remember when I wore a blue color sari. This suits you very well. See, we had 50 years of difference. Yeah, na 9th standard or 65 vayasu. So, but he had that rasana. That rasana is a beautiful gift, no? Higher intellectual trait, and that gives you a feeling of life is a celebration.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, life becomes so dull and boring and mundane, and all sorts of, you are just exhausted. You need things to really appreciate, and then wow factor, right?
Absolutely.
That wow factor is from Lalgudi sir.
Beautiful.
And from my husband and guru Shri R. Hariji. I don't think anybody can be so magnanimous as to give everything that he has learned to his wife, and see me not only as a wife, he's mostly seen me as his own daughter, I would say. It's a very different relationship. Sometimes as a daughter, sometimes as a friend, sometimes as a child, mostly as a child. That parental affection, appa eppadi paathunaro annu mari dhaan ariyana. So that fatherly feeling dhaan enakku innu varum. And guru and father. So the way the amount of confidence and trust that he has in me.
I understand that.
And then the way he is so organized and punctual. If he says 10 o'clock sapda varena, it will be exactly 10. You did not see the clock. This is throughout his life. That focus. He can, if he wants to get into that mode, focus mode, that for the 2 hour of pravachana, 22 hours of rest of the day will be for the 2 hour of pravachana. That I learnt only from him. Till that time, I used to do all things and then just go on to the Meda and then sing. And then I understood from my guru and my husband, R. Hariji, that you live your life for those 2 hours of on stage performance. You sleep for that, you eat for that, you even breathe. You're very, very careful about what you're meant for, what you're meant for.
Such a big learning.
That is the biggest learning. You're meant for this, you cannot do the rest of it. If you're meant to sing, you can obviously not have an ice cream. I'm crazy about ice creams. I learned discipline. I stopped mangoes because mango na tonde kattu. If you want to sing, you cannot have mangoes. I was crazy about mangoes. I was even thinking, how do I even give up adu madriya? But as soon as I saw him, I just gave up. One piece or half a piece. He never gets tempted by anything. He never gets tempted by anything at all in this world. Very simple, very humble. It never shows off. There are people who know nothing but still have so many YouTube channels and podcasts like me. I know not even 1% of what he knows. So, அது மாதிரிலாம் ஒரு person பார்க்கிறது, it's very, very difficult to see such people who want to be on a low profile, knowing everything. Very difficult. I'm so blessed to have these 3 gurus. And from my parents. You know my mother, you've always been observing her. Amma Vijaya Santanam. All her life, only objective was to bring her 2 children beautifully into this cultural, this Bharatiya perspective. Everything that is Bharatiya. Now, actually, today people think my child has to perform this way, achieve that way. To be good human beings is the first thing that we really need to tell our children. They might excel in everything but still be bad children. So I think it is more important to be good children than to be talented children. Talent comes only next, or you might not even have any talent. You just be a good child. That's more than enough. You can be happy. You can be a talented child but not good. You will not be happy. Correct. Today, parental pressure is that my children should be achievers. They should achieve like that. They should achieve like this. And finally, we end up losing our peace, the child's peace, happiness. Everybody becomes bad in that particular kind of manipulative. That space itself is so unpleasant.
Yes.
As you were asking about the takeaways from my parents. Vijaya Santanam, my mother, very, very ambitious, but all the time her focus was to raise her children, both me and my brother, in the Bharatiya perspective. So, definitely anybody who wants to be a mother would say Amma is a role model. So everything that is very nice, everything that is aesthetic, everything that is Bharatiya, everything that is Indian. And she sacrificed her entire life for both of us. Absolutely. Likewise, my father. Whatever my mother wanted, he was with her. So just imagine she wants both me and my brother to sing only Carnatic music, and my father says no Carnatic music in the house, no dance, I want my children for sports. No, nothing like that. So whatever my mother wanted, he loved her so much that he supported every inch of my mother. And my father also equally sacrificed his life for raising both of us. So that kind of both parents sacrificing their lives for that for their two children, I don't think any other family can even imitate or mime 10% of that. Both of them live for their children. So absolute ideal parents.
Is that the requirement, Vishakha, in this modern day, that you give up something of yours so that the next generation can flourish?
Actually speaking, Gen Z will say no. See, they have sacrificed their lives, which means their dreams have been crushed. And but their dream itself was to raise their children this way. So that way, definitely, my mother was an MSc chemistry professor. So probably should have had dreams in her early
Stage of
stages.
working or whatever.
But finally, when at the end of it, what she said is, I have accomplished what I really wanted.
Oh, what did she?
So
She was happy?
Yes, she was very happy. I remember giving
And needless to say,
she was very proud for every concert of my brother that both of them attended, or every Harikatha of mine that both of them attended. They felt so proud. And that, I think, that fulfillment of having raised both their children in a good Sattvic lifestyle and having settled them both with good families, that itself was a great, today, in fact, it is a great challenge for all of us, Vilasini.
Absolutely.
It's a great challenge for every parent to raise children in a Sattvic mode and to have them well settled and feel fulfillment in them.
Yes, absolutely.
Very, very difficult.
So that they carry the samskaras, they carry the value system.
Exactly.
It is not easy.
So, I think both of them, their only objective was to raise their children this way. So I don't think their dreams were crushed. They sacrificed. If you ask me if it is a necessity, it depends on each individual. Their dreams, their pursuits, their focus, their objective, their attitude. But for my parents, that is why I said they're ideal parents. Parenting. Ideal parents.
Vishakha, when you go through challenging times, right, is there a character from the epic? Is there something that you hold on to that guides you? Some story, some moment?
Rather than from the Itihasas and Puranas, I hold on to my gurus, I think. It's not a very conscious decision that if I have challenges, take this particular example from Ramayana, see how Rama faced this. Not very conscious like that. But probably it has just sunk into me, whatever my gurus have said, that whatever you do, you give your 100% to it. Time, soul, energy, everything. So, I have imbibed more of my guru's traits than to pick on to any character from the Itihasas and Puranas.
Understood. When you're not performing, when you're not traveling, you have such a hectic schedule. What is your spiritual practice, or how do you engage in
For me, learning more and more is my me time. So, for example, last week, the entire last 15 days, I've been sitting with Jagamitra Naga's story from Bhagavad Mahipati's Bhakta Vijaya, which is in Marathi. So, not many people would have heard of Jagamitra Naga's story, where he showed love towards all people who even hated him. That is why Jagat ke Mitran. He is the Mitra of the Jagat, like Vishwamitra. So, and his abhangs. I was tuning his abhangs and then trying to present it. That I did it in Kamraj Hall. So, my me time is learning new things, new stories, exploring new abhangs, exploring new compositions, rare compositions of Tyagaraja. That brings a lot of energy to me, because every day I'm enriched in some way.
Are you still excited about preparing for a new Harikatha?
Very. That is the greatest excitement for me.
Okay.
So Kanho Patras, Abhangs, Karma Bais, Bhajans. Every time I prepare something new, that is my excitement.
Interesting. You've been a woman in the field of Harikatha, Vishakha. has there been a predecessor? There are a lot of women in this.
Definitely. There have been a lot of women in Harikatha scenario. Saraswati Bai, Banni Bai, Kamlamurti Mami. There have been a lot of Pramila Gurumurti ji. There have been a lot of women who have done beautiful Harikathas before me, but I have never had the opportunity of seeing them.
Okay. How has this journey for you been from a gender lens? Given
As
the
such,
VWomen
gender
Project?
has not been a problem because during my times, our times, there was kind of an equality. Ilya. We have never felt that gender issue. If you had asked this question during MS or DKP times, definitely it would have been an issue. Because for them, as women, going on to the platform was a huge issue, a big challenge, all that. But during our times, it was not like that.
So they kind of opened it up.
Yeah,
Made
definitely.
it an absolutely level playing.
Yes. Absolute level playing.
So before I step out of this section, one thing I wanted to ask you was, what should be dharma today?
Dharma today. Very good question, because morality is also changing. As you asked, laws are changing. Morality, dharma should not change as such. Dharma is always satyam vada. Dharmam chara, matru devo bhava, pitru devo bhava. But today's times, morality is also changing. For example, previously divorce was not allowed. Now it is accepted. See, because it is the societal change. Norms in the society are changing. And the way we look at people is more open-minded today. Which is good in one particular way. But too much is also not good. So just as the cameraman said, too much exposure, I'm afraid the camera will get spoiled. It's just the same thing for everything. Too much. See, amritamu minjitina veshamahu. Even too much of nectar becomes poison. So that balance between what they call as the left wing and the right wing. I don't believe in right wings and left wings as such, Vilas. I believe in what is important in that particular situation.
Interesting. Okay.
Sometimes the right might be probably the best in that particular situation. Sometimes the left might be the right thing in a particular situation. You can never put it as a white or a black. This is the perfect one. This is the perfect one. So basically, dharma is as such. Depends on each individual, circumstance, situation. For example, telling a lie might be a dharma in a particular situation. My guru would say, a butcher wants to kill a cow. It has just passed by. He comes and asks you, did you see my cow going this way? You say, no, I have not seen. Probably it's gone this way. In that particular case, though I have not spoken the truth, it is equivalent to have spoken the truth because I have saved the life of the cow. So dharma varies from situation to situation. You cannot give a general algorithm of this is dharma and this is not. That is why we had different rules and regulations for students. Brahmachari's dharma, Grihastha's dharma, householder's dharma, a renunciate's dharma, Vanaprastha's dharma, sannyasi's dharma, a teacher's dharma. That is what was called Brahmana dharma. Generally, Vaishya means business people, business people, merchants, traders. The dharma for them. Dharma for them is making profit, but not too much profit at the cost of hurting somebody or harming somebody.
Absolutely.
But they have to make profits. That is the dharma for them.
Absolutely.
What is a dharma for a policeman cannot be a dharma for a normal citizen. He can hold a gun. I cannot hold a gun. So dharma can never be generalized, Vilasmi.
Okay.
That is what we are making that mistake. A general dharma for everybody. No, that is why we had dharmas for each and everybody. Dharmas for laborers. What is the dharma for each and every kshatriyas? For politicians, what is the Raja Dharma? They have that Rajaniti. They can manipulate, but to the benefit of the citizens.
Absolutely.
You see? But teachers cannot manipulate, should not manipulate. So, each and every profession, the dharma changes.
So what we are born into, we will have to adhere to the best of
what we are born into will not suit today's world. What occupation we
we are
fit
meant
into.
to.
What
meant-
occupation we fit into.
Correct.
You follow that dharma. Because that is varna and ashrama in today's times.
Understood.
Varna ashrama in those times and varna ashrama in today's times.
Absolutely.
It is not that today we don't have varnas and ashramas. We do have ashramas. See, students are brahmacharis. Of course, that is not actually, that they are not following that dharma, but they have to. Because if they want to really excel in studies, they have to follow that brahmacharya dharma of celibacy.
Of discipline.
Of discipline.
Of
Of crushing their ego.
crushing their ego.
Of crushing their
studying,
ego.
of putting
Only
that
if you
effort
crush
to
your
study.
ego, you can start being receptive to the entire knowledge system.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so these dharmas are very beautiful. Today also we have varna and ashrama in a different perspective.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Actually, you very beautifully pointed out one thing that goes on in my mind, one contradiction that, I struggle to deal with. You said there is right wing, left wing, the black and the white. Even our itihasas, there is a villain, there is a power, there is the good, there is the bad, which is so clearly demarcated. But the life we lead today has a lot of grace. You very beautifully pointed that out. How do we navigate these grays? I think that is where people struggle.
Even in our itihasas, for example, Mahabharata, Vyasa portrays every character as a grey character, not as a white or a black. If you look at Dronacharya, he was the guru of both the Pandavas and the Kauravas. But Dronacharya was not a completely white person.
Why would you say that?
Why? Because he supported the Kauravas, because he wanted power and the Guru Sthana. Guru Sthana. And not only that, being a Brahmana, he became a Kshatriya because he wanted revenge against Drupada.
Understood.
So is it a grey or is it a white or is it a black? How will you classify Dronacharya? How will you classify Bhishmacharya? How will you classify Bhishmacharya, who has always stood for dharma? He says, no, I am supporting the throne. Is the throne more important or is dharma more important? Is the person who is sitting on the powerful post more important or is the post itself important? So is Bhishmacharya, that is why Krishna calls all of them as fraudsters at one point. Krishna tells them, all of you are fraudsters. Draupadi herself challenges all of them. When Draupadi was humiliated, none of them helped.
Absolutely.
So are you telling me that Mahabharata Vyasa showed everybody as white or black? Not even Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira gambled. Not even Yudhishthira, who was Ajatashatru. So every person has a white and a black. That is what Vyasa showed in Mahabharata.
And what do we learn from it? What do we...
Now coming to the question. So how do you really, even in Ramayana, Ravana, Valmiki says, he was a Mahatma. If not for this Paradara Vimarshana, where he started abducting all women of all kulas and gotras and castes and creeds and Devata Stris, Gandharva Stris, Yaksha Stris, he had this weakness. If at all he did not have that weakness, he would have been invincible. Hanuman, when he looks at Ravana, he really admires and adores him and then says this, if he did not have this weakness, he would have been inconquerable. So, what we generally have to take from these is whether a person is 90% good or 90% bad, 80 to 90%, more than 70% at least in these days. More than 70% good is good. More than 70% bad is bad. You can never expect 100% good or 100% bad. So, this is the mistake that we have in us is we always tend to classify a person as 100% good or 100% bad. Pick him if he is 60 to 70% good, yes, good. That is it.
That will enhance the level of acceptance we have to other people.
Exactly. Tolerance, acceptance, friendships, how you move in otherwise you won't have friends. You will be isolated.
Yes. Yes.
You'll be isolated, absolutely.
Absolutely.
There is no such thing as a perfect ideal person in human beings. Kurayundrum illadadu Govindanna.
Correct. So, Vishakha, I've picked your brains a lot on a lot of things. Now I'm going to do a quick rapid fire with you. Okay,
Okay.
that's part of the format.
Okay.
So, one is, what does Srirangam mean to you in a word?
Srirangam is Bhuloka Vaikuntham. Peace, Shanti.
If there is one character from our Itihasas who you think would have survived very beautifully in the modern world, who will it be?
Hanuman.
And why would you say so? Or we'll come to it after the
Okay, after the rapid.
fire. What is your favorite raga?
Vrindavana Saranga.
Favorite Itihasa story?
Draupadi Sharanagati.
My favorite. Favorite food?
Thair sadam.
Okay.
Curd rice.
Favorite pastime other than when you're on stage?
Reading books. Dancing.
Dancing?
Yes. Nowadays.
Oh, really? Have you
Dancing.
restarted?
Yes.
Okay. And favorite Harikatha?
Tyagaraja Swami's Charitra.
Favorite composer?
Tyagaraja Swami.
In today's world, if Harikatha had a superpower, what will it be?
It always has superpower.
Okay. Like in modern
To transform
terms.
people.
To transform.
To save lives.
Mm.
So many people get back to me and say I was at a point when I wanted to commit suicide. I happened to listen to the Harikathas, your Harikathas, and then these are very personal, private notes. I've not shared it with anybody. I've received several messages like this.
Oh,
so it has
that
a
is quite
transformative
intense.
power, not only transformative power to save lives.
My God. Okay.
Mm.
What is one misconception about Harikatha?
Misconception that it is only religion, or probably it is meant for the older generation. But nowadays, a lot of youngsters turn up.
You have
So-
made it so vibrant that, it is appealing
No,
to
I
a
can
lot
see
of...
that, last 25 years journey, I can see that it is always growing and growing.
So there is no...
Yeah.
So, Vishakha, I think we'll go into this next section of this podcast.
Yeah.
I think after being a musician, a Harikatha exponent, now you've also set up a very beautiful teaching platform, a medium that gives back in such a large way through Vijay Shri Academy. Take us through that a little bit and, your own thought process around it.
Definitely. Vijay Shri School of Harikatha, that also very organically started after my mother attained his feet. So February 2020, during the Shivratri time, we just started with a very small, humble batch of students, say 30 to 40 students, 3-day workshop about my Guru's Grantha, where I taught Krishna Leela with my Guru's Grantha. It was very natural. The students would dance, they would paint, they would sing along. And for each of the shlokas, what kind of compositions can be sung. It was very, very beautiful. And after the 3 days, I thought it was done. But then I came to know that they were all in touch still, and they wanted to continue. And that was the time when COVID came. So we started continuing through online, and slowly it grew and grew and grew and grew. And Vijay Shri, I saw that it is a magical word by itself. Probably Amma and Appas and Annas and Mani's blessings. So it spread like a banyan tree. We started Vijay Shri Tirupugal wing, Vijay Shri Abhang wing, Madhuri Bhajan Mandali wing for my Guru's Kirtanas, Vijay Shri now Devaram wing, Vijay Shri Divya Prabandham wing, Vijay Shri Tamil wing, and then Vijay Shri School of Fine Arts USA, and then Vijay Shri School of Fine Arts USA itself in different locations. And then we started publishing books. We were into everything. We were all over the place. And we started doing yatras with the Vijay Shri students, the Videsha yatras, temples, then the annual festivals, doing it with it was just small batches of students. Now everywhere, right from small 4-year or 5-year-old children to 35, 40-year-old. Everybody wants to be a part of Vijay Shri, and everything is done for free. That is the best part of it.
Beautiful.
It's free
I
Siksha
think.
for all, and all Siksha for free, irrespective of the caste, religion. We have even other religions and different. It is all. We never bother about anything else. So it's all the Tamil wing, and then the Namavali wings. It goes on and on. The Ramayana wing, the Siksha wing, Balabodham wing. So it is now half of it. Even I won't remember. It
I
has
like
grown
that you
so.
teach scriptures even for dance. You know, that was
Yeah,
one thing
scriptures
that
for dance. Scriptures for dance. Because if you have to dance today,
you need to emote.
first you need to know the itihasas and the Puranas to really dance. If you have to even show some bhava, you need to know the story to show that, right?
Yes.
You cannot just without knowing the intricacies.
It is difficult to
dance. It's very difficult to dance. All the other art forms, in fact, even for a painting, you need to know the particular story. Only then you can bring the emotions on your face, on the particular painting's face.
Absolutely. So now, how many students will be there on the?
Thousands, and we have also adopted schools where we teach them weekly, two times. And then offline classes also. So we adopt schools, and then the TheV-WomenProject Yuddham series separately, where we go from school to school to TheV-WomenProject Yuddham Saivam is
TheV-WomenProject
Yuddham Saivam. Fight for solutions. Fight towards solutions.
Okay.
Fight towards seeking solutions. That is to address the today's Gen Zs and Gen Alphas mental problems. They are getting into drugs. They are getting into all sorts of unwanted overthinking and lot of other bad habits. In fact, I met a couple of gynecologists last year who wanted me to do a podcast to tell that women, at least during their pregnancy, should not have alcohol. That is today's Bharat's condition. At least in the US, you have boards which say pregnant women should not drink, should not have alcohol. Today, if I go and tell a girl who is pregnant, please don't have alcohol, you have a child in your womb. She said, what does it matter to you? Mind your own business. But the gynecologist wanted me to do a podcast on how morality is steeping down to such low levels that they get admitted they get done for pregnancy tests. And once it is confirmed, they are not even happy because they say, I have 8 partners, I don't know whose child this. So this is so you have to look at the larger population, Vilasini. Because our children are misled in the name of fashion and in the name of being cool. They are misled. They think that this is too conservative and their freedom is at stake and I'm not free to do this, I'm not free. It's not a question of freedom. It's a question of giving birth to the productive, healthy, younger generation. Building a beautiful, healthy next nation.
Correct.
See, a nation there are so many, you have heard of US where the youngster generation, the youngsters are a burden for them now because they're all into malpractices. Now, youngsters should not be a burden for the nation. They should be if the nation should be prosperous, the youngsters should be full of energy, physically, mentally, enthusiastic. They should be bubbling. They should have innovative ideas for that. They need a healthy mind and a healthy physique. And they think that alcohol or drugs, all this is fashion. No, not at all. The West have realized now. We are burning our fingers. So who is going to bell the cat? If the parents tell, they think that they are a different generation. They are boomers. They are boomers. That's the word they give. I know all these names because
Vijay Shri children more aligned to this.
I have Vijay Shri children who are more Gen Zs and Alphas Because I'm in touch with the current issues. They come back with all these issues. What happens in school? How the peer pressure, if they even wear a bindi, they are looked down upon. In the West, it doesn't happen. You have more freedom in the West now than in Bharat. You don't have the freedom to wear a bindi. You don't have freedom to wear a sari. You don't have the freedom to wear a half sari. You don't have the freedom to do your religious prayers or chant a shloka. They think that you belong to the 90 kids generation. What nonsense.
But isn't there a section of the population that's also owning up their culture much more strongly in this day and age? Do you see that?
Owning up their culture in the sense
that, there are some bhajan parties. There are things that they want to do.
They want to do, yes. If it is,
that
yes.
Earlier, they used to be.
Yeah, it has to come a full circle, but I just hope that they don't burn their fingers before they come the full circle. See, because if we have to learn everything only after we suffer, then it becomes very difficult for the children.
Absolutely.
It becomes very difficult for the children to get the children out of drugs, to get the children. See, we have the Nasha Mukt campaigns. We sent children to Kasi for the campaign, along with the Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Sports and Ministry of Health. So we do support such campaigns, and we always have these counseling sessions which help to get them out. But once you're into a bad habit, the entire family suffers so much.
Suffers a lot.
Tell me one family now where they don't drink or they are not into such. You can say the satsangatla irukala. Satsangam is of course, it is a protective fence, but you must understand, realize the value and form. You have to build your own fence. You have to give your own boundaries. I can move with. See, even finding alliances for girls and boys, you know how difficult it is.
Is it
today?
Okay.
For each and every Vijay Shri student, before we find an alliance, we have to go through a huge procedure, because teetotalers are very, very less today. Very, very less. And even after that, divorce is so common. And even after that, they don't want to have kids. They want to have only pets. It's their choice. But why? Are pets going to pay income tax tomorrow? See, why don't you look at the larger welfare of the nation? Why is it me and self-centered? It all centers around me being happy, I being happy, one individual. Why don't we think about the nation at large? We need the next generation fully employed, fully innovative, fully means powerful. To have a powerful nation, the next Gen Z has to be totally in control. And for that, you need spirituality as the root.
Absolutely.
And that is why Vijay Shri School of Harikatha is into it. Why does Vijay Shri School of Harikatha need to get involved in all this? Because spirituality is the solution for all this. You need to control your senses. You can't eat everything that you see. You cannot eat at 12 o'clock in the night and 1 o'clock in the night and order pasta and Coke and drink that. So your digestion, scientifically, hygiene-wise, you ask any doctor. You cannot do that. But today, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, they order food. They have Coke and they have all kind of tinned juices, even which are banned in other countries.
Absolutely. I think the sugar content or the sugar intake in India is...
Sugar intake. Not only that, a lot of students in their teens who say, I'm feeling low.
Yeah.
Teenage is not an age where, both of us around 47 and 48, we can say, Vilas, I'm feeling low, come on. Now, we are more spirited than the teenagers. We are doing a podcast sitting here, thinking of the society and what we can do for them, how we can help them out.
Absolutely. So, seeing the impact of peer pressure, of, the world that they live in Instagram, and everything is on social media for them. So, you're seeing this impact actively on the children.
Yes,
today.
Yes, definitely. I'm seeing the impact on the children. Constant comparisons, because everything is on Instagram, and whatever they buy, the boots, the shoes, the socks, the shirts, the bags, everything they buy, they put it on Instagram. The food that they eat, the juice that they drink, everything is on Instagram and Facebook. And there is no morality, or you can post these pictures, not these pictures, nothing of that sort. So your Jadagam itself, you can take it from your Instagram and Facebook. So now constant comparisons. Oh, probably that is a 10,000 rupee bag or a 2,000 rupee bag, and my mother has bought me only a 200 rupee bag. Constant comparisons because of the social media. Too much of social media is the culprit behind all this.
So what is the counter, Vishakha? How does one come out of it?
Exactly. That is why I told you the spirituality is the root to this. Now we have a lot of time. Instead of wasting our time on social media, let's get to reading what we need to read and knowing what we need to know. You don't need to know what your friend is wearing or what he has bought from which shop and what brand. That is not important. You need to get inspired every day. You need to stay motivated every day. You need to stay positive every day. So to build yourself, what helps you? Concentrate on that. And that is where spirituality helps you. And that is why we have brought out these books. My guru's Sati Vijayam, 103 Women. That we did an adapted translation. Kausarya Veeravalli ji and myself did an adapted translation. The second edition has been released again. 103 Women. 75 kings, queens and composers which Vijay Shri students themselves have written. Now they are going to come back. They have also done a project on My Village, My Deity, explored their own villages. They went back to their villages. They found out what kind of scholars their village has given birth to, what kind of mahans and samadhis and treasures and Tamil literature and other literature. They know much more than me now. Yeah. They have done
but
a
this is
PhD.
So beautiful. So they go research and bring back a story.
They have finished copyrighted Bharat to find out what things of Bharat need to be copyrighted, because we've lost on so many, because we have not copyrighted on the Moringa leaves. Moringa leaves is Moringa drumstick. And because of inji, ginger, all of Bharat's resources, we are so magnanimous to give everything to everybody. And then finally they will say Bharat is such a poor country, it has nothing. But we have always been the superpower, and we have to arise and awaken that spirit of Bharat and understand that everything is here. We can sustain ourselves. So what has to be done has to be done. Otherwise, we are losing out on everything. Russians and Germans are patenting even Ashwagandha of our Ayurveda. Absolutely. You go there, you go to US, they are drinking haldi milk as turmeric latte.
Absolutely.
Turmeric latte for $10. Here, manchapodi pal, no, our children won't drink. They will say you are a boomer. They will go there and drink turmeric latte.
Absolutely.
So everything is in the name. Everything
is in the form.
The presentation, the package. That is a Maya. The same thing what we are doing. I know it is a very, very informal conversation. But today it is named as a podcast. If it is named as a podcast, people, I really don't understand what is in a name, but everything is in a name.
Absolutely.
Everything is in a name.
And a form.
Absolutely. And the form. And the way you present it and the way you package it.
Absolutely. So Vishakha, will having a purpose, or the kind of movement that you've started with Vijay Shri, actually you're giving them a purpose to start working upon. Is that a solution, do you think?
Definitely. If every child, every student understands that he or she has a purpose in this life, and with that works towards that purpose. Now all the energy is onto a particular track. So you have a destination to reach. You are not confused, because otherwise there is a lot of confusion and distraction and you get derailed. It's just like a train. You have a destination, you board at a point, there is a track. Now, if you don't have a destination, if you don't have a track, then you're lost. You don't know what you're going to do. So I spend my time doing nothing. Sometimes children spend 2 hours, 3 hours on just shorts and reels.
Scrolling.
It is the biggest thief, biggest robber, culprit. 2 hours of time gone. 3
Even
hours.
For adults.
Even for adults. 3 hours of time gone. So the value of time, time consciousness, every second. It's not money. People think that time is money. Time is knowledge. Time is knowledge. Time is building yourself. And if you don't realize that, you lose your happiness at the end. Ultimately, what is our purpose, Vilas? Everybody wants to be happy finally. And that happiness must not be temporary. It must be a permanent happiness, which is called bliss. When does that bliss settle in you? When you say, I have led a fulfilled life. From my early age, I have had a purposeful life. That is what Purandaradasa says, no? I had 9 crores. I earned 9 crores. But when that transformative moment came, what does he sing? Mosa hode nallo nano muvatu varsha mohabdiyalli. 30 years of my prime time youth I've lost in the sea of ocean of illusion. Mohabdiyalli. Muvatu varsha. The first 30 years. For 30 years, he is mourning. We would have lost 60, 70 years and then still not found our purpose. So everybody has a purpose. How do we find the purpose? If we really want to do something in a dharmic way, our inner conscience will guide us. That itself will give us, that is our greatest guru. Our Antaryami is our greatest guru. It will give us a direction, a guru, a track, a destination. Put in all your efforts and energy into that path. You can see success not only in materialistic life, you can feel that sense of fulfillment.
Absolutely. Beautiful. I want to live in that moment for a second. And, if you had to kind of summarize the negotiable, non-negotiable values in today's world, what would it be?
Non-negotiable values in today's life, definitely peace. At any cost, nobody should lose their peace of mind. Shantamuleka saukhyamuledu sarasadala nayana. Shanti. That Shanta, that Shantam comes through that Sama Raga itself. Peace, compassion towards all beings, fellow beings, right from the insects and animals. Compassion, love. All these are non-negotiable always. Towards every person, any religion, any caste, any creed. That unity. I find lot of discrimination. Why? Today they are being more discriminative than some 75 years back. Discriminating through languages, discriminating through caste, through religions, through everything. Why? Through ages. Gen Z, Gen Alpha. What is this? Isn't this discrimination? Calling us boomer? I'm revolting. Boomer. I'm not a boomer. Huh? I'm still Gen Z. But isn't this a discrimination, Vilas? Yes. They say we are against discrimination, but those students themselves are discriminating us.
Absolutely. We have to do a morcha.
Now, so a discrimination of any sort. Now, one thing is, we have to appreciate differentiation. See, there are a lot of confusion between discrimination and differentiation. See, in mangoes, we have so many varieties. I can't say everything should be only one. No Alfonsa, only Imam Pasand. No Romania, no Banganpani, no Neelam. I want only one type of mango. No. Each person likes one taste. I like Imam Pasand, you like Banganpalli. Somebody else likes Alfonso. So differentiation is different from discrimination. A lot of people get confused between these two terms.
So in the West, they call it the diversity, right? Diversity, equality,
diversity, yeah. That is a big topic by itself, in itself. Again, a lot of confusion in that. We won't go to that because this itself is a huge podcast. So now basically, these are non-negotiables. Let us all be together. Let us all enjoy this life together, but in the moral, beautiful, dharmic way. Happiness in the right path. Because only then that will be lasting happiness. Everlasting happiness.
Absolutely.
That is what Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu.
Absolutely. I think the one last thing I'd want to touch upon is, this book that got released last year, Vishakha. It got released by the Chief Justice. And also Sudharani Raghupati ji was also present. So Sangeeta Saujanya, can you talk to us about that?
Yes, Sangeeta Saujanya, again, it's actually a continuation with the previous question. It's to show how music unites everybody. Music comes from the sound of these peacocks and the bulls and the goats. So there is no discrimination in music. Sangeeta Saujanya, music unites all. And it brings out the roots of Shastriya Sampradaya music because it was the need of the hour to tell how our Carnatic music originated, how it has traveled this far, how it has been very inclusive, and how it can reach everybody. And in this journey, how many people have contributed, and how the Nadaswara Vidwans and Taval Vidwans and Oduvas and the Arayars are all a part of this beautiful journey. And we owe a lot to all of them. And how Sahitya has brought more sense to the music, how it has taken us to the Bhakti path, and how from just being nice music, it has shifted to elevating music, and then to music which gives Sakshatkara. Moksha Mugalada Bhuvi Lord can even take us to moksha. So that book talks about all these concepts, and also how our temples are so related to our Shastriya Sampradaya that in many of the temples there are inscriptions and carvings of Simhanandana Tala and Laya intricacies. So how even sculptors knew the intricacies of Tala system, Laya system. So how music has been an integral part of every
aspect
of
our being, of our
and
existence.
every community. Every community.
I've got the book. I'm yet to read it. Looking forward to doing that once I'm back in Bombay. Thank you so much for all the wisdom. Thank you so much for the time, Vishakha.
It's my pleasure, Vilas.
If you had to, as a closure to this, if you can just sing and in your own Harikatha way, give us a summary.
Yeah, sure. Rangashayi Rangashayi Vilichite Yamuchwa Radha Rangashayi Vilichite Yamuchwa Radha Rangashayi
Thank you, Vishakha. Thank you so much for this delightful 1.5 hours that you spent with us. And thank you for being this inspiration to our generation and to the next. I think there is so much that we seek to learn.
There are miles to go before we sleep, and we need to do a lot more to help the people who really need our help out there. So definitely let this be a channel where people can reach out to us for whatever help they need.
Absolutely.
So that way our lives will have greater purpose.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe.